Draymond Green went just 2 of 7 from the field last night, finishing with 4 points, and the Warriors 127-101 lost to the Lakers last night, but that didn't hinder Golden State's holiday spirit. Tweeting out this Draymond Green holiday card. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from our fam to yours, Dub Nation.
All right, I know what your initial takeaway from this card was, C. What's Draymond's face? What's the thing there that you're going to grab onto?
Oh, no, that's not, because that's not a natural one. No, that's produced by the organization. No, that's not his natural look. His natural look is more like...
Right, sitting on the bench.
Looking at me. No, yeah, that's a little too, that's a little over-exaggerated.
What the public took from it was they added about 40 pounds to my man Draymond. I mean, they made him chubby. Look at him.
He's huge.
I mean, he can't be
just a baggy shirt.
Depiction.
It's
a baggy shirt. It's a jersey.
But also, they could have fixed it. They created it.
They created it. I feel like Katie's social media team sent it to him. One of the people that runs one of his burners was like, hey, I got this Draymond thing. I think you'll like it.
It looks like Mick walking around the office when he don't have his show clothes on, when his wife's not dressing.
XXL
he
large.
looks a mess. Yeah.
No.
He's still wearing the 3X's, man.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, he's still
just because
the
today I got
baggy
a
jeans
belt.
and all that.
Yeah. He got the saggy look today. I'm like, where
I
you going,
forgot
Nick?
a belt. And just
Forget about
because
it. You're 38.
Some people
38.
get
How can you
caught.
forget about it?
Some people get caught in errors.
First of all, I'm 34. Second of all, I don't wear the XXL stuff anymore. Third of all, just because you in this new era of Chris Carter have gone to super skinny jeans, even when I was in the project,
I was clean.
You stayed stylish. Come here.
Hold on a second. I was at your house in Los Angeles the first day you got a pair of skinny jeans. You're like, man,
yeah, but I've been clean for a long time, Nick. That's relax, man.
He's from Middletown. They stay clean in Middletown.
Oh, I believe that.
Don't worry, Broussard. We don't always talk fashion. We come back. Rockets, Thunder, or in other words,
both of these fashionistas on
the James Harden game.
Fresh.
End of the half. James Harden buries the 3 to cut the Thunder lead to 6. End of the third. James Harden with the crossover and the jumper to give the Rockets the lead. End of the fourth. This time, Paul George from long. And this cuts Houston lead to 4. Paul had 28 points on the night, but Harden would seal it with the floater right here. 2 of his 41 points. Rockets win 113-109. Chris Broussard, how far do you think James Harden can carry the Rockets this season?
Honestly, he can carry them to the Western Conference Finals. They're one of 4 teams. We know Golden State's getting there.
Right.
I think there are 3 other teams that are going to fight for that spot in the Western Conference Finals. Oklahoma City, Houston, and the Lakers.
So Nuggets, forget you.
Nuggets haven't made the playoffs in 5 years. I don't think you go from that to the Western Conference Finals, not in the West. I think they, are a good team. They're tough, and, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future. But I don't see that. I think with LeBron and then Harden in Houston and Paul George and Westbrook, and they're playing well, in Oklahoma City, I think they'll have an edge in the playoffs. So, yeah, Harden, I think he can lead them to the conference finals. They can't beat Golden State.
No.
2 encouraging things recently. They've won 7 of 8, okay? They had gone, I think, 0-9 dating back to last year without Chris Paul. The last 2 games they won without Chris over good teams, San Antonio, which was playing well, and Oklahoma City. And then during that stretch, their defense has really improved.
Yes.
Their defense has picked it up. So those are good signs.
The Rockets have been, up until these last 2.5 weeks, the most disappointing team in the league.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been because of number 13. James Harden this year, for the year, not during the stretch, this year, 32, 6, and 8. That's crazy. 32 points a game while averaging 8 assists. Now, during the stretch, in the last 7, he's averaging 47 and 9. And the part about that I guarantee you Daryl Morey and the Houston Brain Trust most excited about, he's doing that averaging 13 3-point attempts a game and 13 free throw attempts a game. Like, that's one hell of a way to play basketball. It's a James Harden way to play basketball, and it makes him essentially unguardable. Now, the rest of the team is starting to come along for the ride, even despite the Chris Paul injury. I think the Rockets are similar to Chris in a position where the Lakers are, which is, what is their peak? Their peak is until they see the Warriors in the playoffs. Like, it depends on what side of the bracket you're on in the West. Like, but the Rockets, they have shown you, at least they've shown me, what they can do at their best. And Harden Harden has shown that he is not at a different phase of his career. Harden's the same guy he's been the last 5 years.
Chris Paul.
Unlike Chris Paul, absolutely. And so I mean, Harden has been spectacular, and all of a sudden on the course of the year, it's like, oh, now they're up to the 5th ranked offense in basketball. After last year being top 2 at the beginning of the year, they were outside of the top 15. The offense is getting back. The defense is not back yet, except for the last couple games. But yeah, I mean, if Harden's going to give you this offensively, your ceiling's about as high as anybody in the West outside of Golden State.
Yeah, they're not going to be the defensive team they were last year. That's not even in reach of what they can do. This would be my concern. Not to rain on you guys' parade and everything, but Harden's playing at an unbelievable level. He's playing at a pace also I don't think he can continue without the lack of help that they have on the team. Because Chris Paul, this is not going to be his last injury of the year.
Correct.
They got 49 more games. So you think Chris Paul, when he comes back, he's not going to miss more time? No, he is going to miss more time. So can Harden do this for 49 more games? And the reason why he's got to do it for 49 more games, would you say their seed is right now?
Right now, they're the 7th seed.
Right now. And for them to stay, because they played so bad, he's got to keep playing at a high level for the seeding. So if they go in as one of the bottom seeds, how are they going to make it to the conference? Because they're going to face one of the big dogs early, and they can face Golden State before the finals. So for me, what I'm worried about is overall durability. He's playing at a level that I don't think the pace that he can keep. And I know their other superstar in Chris Paul, he's going to miss time. Let's not forget, today is December 26th. All right? The playoffs is a long time away. And for him to be able to maintain that level, because he holds the ball more than anyone in the NBA. From the time he gets it to either he decides to either shoot it or get assists, there's no one so there's no way for them to run their offense. Yeah, they could be in the top 5, but they have to do it through him. It's exhausting to play that style of basketball.
And that may be why it may be nerves or it may be fatigue. But in the playoffs, we've seen him fizzle because there's so much pressure on him. I was saying yesterday watching the game with my father, and Harden is not a ball hog. Okay, this is what they ask him to do.
Yes.
But the way they play when Harden, basically with Harden out there, is like you at the Y.
Yes.
Playing with a ball hog.
Yes.
Like
all you do is
everybody else just spreads out.
3 and 4 pick and rolls. To be able to get the type of matchup, if he gets the 5, the opposing 5 on him, like he's going to work.
It's one of the reasons why I thought a couple years ago when all those vines were going around about the compilations of his bad defense, I thought it was, particularly before they got Chris Paul, unfair because nobody was asked to do more on one side of the ball. He was leading the league in minutes. He was playing every single game for a couple years in a row, and he had the ball in his hand more than anybody in the sport. If you're going to ask him to do all that, he can either rest on the bench and play fewer minutes, or he's going to have to rest on the court. Now, some of those defensive moments I know were laughably bad, but some of them were he's resting while playing because they need him out there for every single offensive possession. Last little thing with the Rockets. Let's not forget, they offered 4 first-round picks for Jimmy Butler. Those first-round picks didn't go away. Daryl knows that wherever Chris Paul is now, he ain't getting better. That this year and next year is the window for this team. I would expect the Rockets to at least attempt at the deadline to make a major acquisition. That's another reason why I think they have maybe more upside than the first 35 games of the season have shown.
All right, Chris, we'll see you a little bit later on the show. Got to take a break. Coming up, a little Patriots talk on the other side. You think they can still make the Super Bowl with a limited Tom Brady?